Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report. I'm here again with a familiar face, Chris Austin, who's the president North America for Explora Journeys. Now, we've talked with Chris many times. We wanted to get an update on what's going on with Explora Journeys, and we're going to talk to him about a whole lot of things, where the positioning in the line is today, what's happening, and a lot of new stuff. And so stick around, and we're going to see it all on Insider Travel Report. Chris, first of all, great to see you.
Good to see you as well, James. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and we're both traveling like crazy, and it's nice we got a time to do this. But that's what Zoom is.
Absolutely.
We next time
Absolutely.
we're gonna do it live next time. That's all.
I'd love that. I'd love that. And thanks to everybody who is joining and listening. We couldn't be where we are today, James, of course, without our travel advisors. So thank you to everybody.
Now let's first talk about the positioning of the line. You launched with a very different kind of positioning. You were I don't even think do you even use the word cruise? I can't remember. You're a luxury hotel at sea. Talk a little bit about that positioning and how it's worked for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'd like to really go back to the original vision, which became a passion project for our family owners. Obviously, they have their own vacations on their own private yacht during the summer months in the Mediterranean, and they really wanted to sort of transfer that experience, obviously, into a new ultra luxury cruise. We are more than a cruise, though. We're Explorer Journeys, and a journey is far more than just a cruise. A journey can be very transformational. A journey actually starts with the dream of travel, James. A journey includes working with our travel advisor partners or the planning, how you're going to travel, how you're going to fly, which pre-stay hotel or resort are you going to stay in? Six Senses and a Man or Belmont or whatever properties pre or post. Of course, we could be the pre or the post to a longer resort stay as well. And then on board the ship, definitely that journey continues. And it's, as I said, a transformational journey. And we want our guests to discover their ocean state of mind. After all, the ocean covers 70% of the world. We must protect the oceans, which we are doing, and really does allow our guests to go to some unique on and off the beaten path ports of call. The design, though, that vision, the dream of the family was to create a differentiated, unique experience. So our ship, and we are a ship, um, 63,000 tons. We have 461 full oceanfront suites. They're the largest lead-in suites in the industry at 377 square feet, all with private terraces, all with Italian deep cushion daybed spacing straight out to the ocean.
Mhm.
The interior design, when you step into the ship, you will feel, especially in the lobby of the ship with our lobby bar, you could be standing in a beautiful boutique hotel. So we're European, we're family owned, and we are more of an ultra luxury European boutique hotel whose home is the ocean. And of course, it doesn't just mean design, James. Our crew that many brands would call their team members crew. Ours are hosts.
Mhm.
We've recruited many of them from luxury land hospitality, luxury resorts, but we've also recruited from the cruise industry, and it's that nice blend. But I think the common thread with all our hosts are that they're passionate hospitality experts. They want to be in this industry. They want to deliver intuitive, personalized service to our guests who obviously choose to travel with us. So not only ship design, not only hosts, but it's also taking that vision to have more space, more choice, and a slower, more immersive experience. So we have later stays in ports of call. We have overnights in ports of call, but we also include sea days in every single itinerary. And that's because we do want people to realize that the ship, currently Explorer 1 and Explorer 2, are the destination unto themselves also. You can at times feel you're on your own private yacht. If you're laying, you've been on, James, if you're laying on the Astern pool, the Atoll pool, you can feel that you're in your own private yacht. And that's not by accident. It's thoughtfully designed because the inspiration and what the family wanted to deliver and what our guests wanted was a ship inspired by a super yacht.
Absolutely. Well, as you mentioned, Chris, I was on the first cruise, so
You were.
That was amazing. And I have to say one thing, it's an overused word, but the word beautiful applies here. It's a beautiful ship, and
Thank
everybody
you.
that walks into it, into that wonderful, opening a lounge area is just like blown away. It's just an
Thank
amazing
you.
ship.
She's a very elegant ship, and I think also lots of light. We connect with the ocean. Guests see the ocean, of course. Many opportunities to do that. But whether it's in the retail area with our monobrand Swiss watch shops, or the Journey, or whether it's in the Ocean Wellness Spa, or any of our culinary restaurants, you connect with the ocean, and that's how you really do, I think, discover that ocean state of mind.
Well, let's get to another point, which something I loved on the ship, the culinary experience, the dining. And you and
Yeah.
I had some very good meals on that very first one that were amazing. But talk about the culinary experience on board and how it's even evolved even more. You've added even more stuff, and I'm like, it was great to begin with, and now you got you're doing a lot of new things as well.
Well, we are because we have the art of listening. And I think once, when you're building a brand, you have the art of listening. You take the vision of the family, you also survey guests, you survey travel advisors, you ask what they want in a brand new brand. And that allows you, when you launch, if you embrace that feedback, to sort of hit the bullseye. And so there shouldn't be any surprise when people say they actually love what the brand actually is delivering in the guest experience. Once you've launched the brand, and we've been operating now for 18 months. Obviously, we launched the first ship in 2023, and Explorer 2 we launched in 2024. This year, we have a year without any new ships launching, but then in 26, we have our third ship launching. 27, we have our fourth and fifth ships, and in 28, our sixth ship. So obviously, the art of listening, once you're operating, means you also have to have the art of taking action, and we've embraced some feedback. So, of course, it all comes down to choice. One of the key pillars of the brand is choice. We don't have any single main dining room. We don't have an area where every single guest can gather together. We have six culinary choices for dining as main restaurants. We also have additional culinary options. So the six main restaurants would include Fil Rouge. That's a French-inspired international restaurant named after the red water line that actually surrounds and goes around the hull of the ship. Adjacent to Fil Rouge is the Med Yacht Club, and the Med Yacht Club is actually a Mediterranean fusion restaurant. So you could try tapas from Spain, you could have Italian pastas, you could have Greek food, you could have French, you could also have tangines from North Africa. So wonderful, wonderful restaurants. One of my favorites, James, because we also have a bar and two lounges inside
Mhm.
Med Yacht Club, and it really makes those restaurants feel like it could be a restaurant in your hometown in New York, in Miami, or wherever our guests obviously come from. The Marble and Co. Steakhouse is a European steakhouse. We have our own dry ager in there. You'll see cuts of meat from different European as well as US cuts of beef as well. Of course, if you don't eat beef, there's other choices in Marble and Co. as well. Sakura, a Pan-Asian restaurant, a very popular favorite. Cherry blossom on the ceiling. You really
I
feel that
remember
you've
that. Yeah.
transformed. It's a beautiful setting. And of course, the Pan-Asian cuisine, whether it's sushi at lunchtimes or sushi even in the evenings, but obviously with those beautiful cooked items. As I say, one of the many favorites of our guests as well. The Emporium Marketplace is one of the big surprises for people. 18 culinary stations where chefs actually prepare a la minute the dishes that guests are choosing with their eyes, and then, of course, taking back to their tables in the Emporium Marketplace. It is not a buffet. People love, obviously, that everything is behind glass and everything is being cooked to order. Everything is very, very fresh. And of course, the displays are stunning. I love going up there around 6:30 in the evening, seeing the display of the oysters on a half shell, glass of champagne, and maybe having a couple before heading off to another restaurant or something. But
Mhm.
people go to Emporium Marketplace for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and we also have beautiful pizza made by our Italian chef with a beautiful, authentic Italian pizza oven. We of course have the burger bar there. That's open later till 3:30 as well, so that's offering some food items there. If people do come back, of course, from a destination experience, they can also enjoy afternoon tea in the Explorer Lounge. We have that every single day, other than on an embarkation. And then perhaps a restaurant that the real foodies will be enjoying, and that's Anthology. And
Right.
Frank Garanger, who is our executive head of culinary for the brand, has created
And you
a
remember
fantastic.
he cooked us a meal that was absolutely over
He
the
did.
top.
I still remember the fish
The fish that
in
he
the
cut
baked
up
salt.
and the
Yes.
millefeuille. I mean,
Yeah, that was spectacular. But he has curated an amazing Italian tasting menu. It is the only restaurant on board that there is a dining experience fee. I don't hear anybody who actually goes saying they didn't think it was one of the best meals they've ever enjoyed, and they would have no issue with the dining experience fee. So very elegant. Table service, obviously, there. White Linen is a beautiful restaurant, very intimate. Anthology is certainly a must go restaurant. But lighter bites throughout the day. You could go to the creperie and the conservatory as well. You can go to Crema Cafe, have light bites for breakfast, pastries. You could have some sandwiches at lunchtime, etc. So, of course, in addition to the six main restaurants in our culinary offerings, you've got lots of food and beverage, of course. And I mentioned beverages, James. We've got 12 bars and lounges, 8 interior bars and lounges, of course, and then 4 outside. And one of my favorites is the Sky Bar on deck 14. My tip every time for sail away, go to the Sky Bar, listen to the DJ playing some great tunes, as you probably see the sunset. We could be there late, of course, till like 10 p.m. or 11
right.
p.m., or we could be sailing away at 6 o'clock on to the next fabulous port of call.
No, that's it. The dining, I had to say, I came away just loving the dining. That very first
Thank you.
cruise, it was right dead on. And you've made some changes, like Frank's new Italian upscale restaurant.
Correct.
But the one you used to rotate some chefs, and I thought that was a great dining experience too. But Frank is such an incredible chef that sort of have to come on board to try his Italian. I think that's going to be
You definitely must. And I mean, cruising, obviously, people expect great dining, but I can tell all of our listeners that we really are gaining a reputation for the best culinary at sea.
Mhm.
Frank is exceptional. His whole team is exceptional. Our leadership in Geneva, Alban is an amazing leader, and we
Mhm.
really are achieving, I think, great recognition of having the best culinary at sea. The menus are extensive, but often we'll add a special dish of an evening into Fil Rouge or into the Med Yacht Club. And of course, we cater to all of the dietary requirements. My brother-in-law is gluten intolerant, and
Mhm.
he sailed and said it was exceptional, some of the best gluten-free dining he's ever had. So
Well, there's an
just make
endorsement
sure.
for you
Yeah,
there.
it is an endorsement from my brother-in-law, actually. But my biggest tip, perhaps, is to our travel advisors: if you do have dietary requirements for your clients, just make sure that you've told our ambassadors so we are prepared ahead of time. Of course, if we're not advised and we're told on embarkation, we'll do our very best. Dining reservations, James, we do suggest reservations for Marble and Co. and for Secura and for Anthology. It's only because they're smaller restaurants and we want everybody to have the chance. You can also, once you're on board, make reservations for Fil Rouge and for the Med Yacht Club, but it's not necessary. But of course, I do suggest reservations for Secura, Anthology, and Marble and Co.
Fantastic. So you're not going to go hungry when you're on board Explora Journeys, that's for sure.
Definitely not.
My final question and issue I want to talk to you about is, I'm on board. Obviously the first cruise, I didn't see too many families, but you do make an active, you cater to families, luxury family travel. And talk a little bit
Yes.
about that because I was surprised that you really do. Most luxury ships, yeah, you can go, but it's not encouraged. But this one is a little different, right?
Well, it is different because we're owned by a family, and therefore families are very welcome. We accommodate families. And of course, I think what everybody has to remember is our ships have the highest amount of guest to space ratio in our category. We have more choices. Think of everything I've said. We've actually got two techno gym workout areas, one interior, one exterior, actually, where you really can feel your ocean state of mind as you work out. So lots of choice, lots of space. We also, though, have 88 connecting suites. When you connect two suites together, you get a king, two twins. You also get a huge walk-in European shower plus a suite with a bathtub and a shower as well. So those almost become family suites. We also then have perhaps the only in an ultra luxury brand kids club or a lounge. It's called the Nautilus Lounge, and it's hard to get kids out of there, to be honest, because
Mhm.
and actually some of those kids are 17, if not pushing 18, and they just love to play on all of course or all the stuff we've got in there.
I'm
Two
surprised that
hosts,
that we could go in there too and have some fun and
yeah,
on
exactly,
all the
exactly.
games and things, right? Yeah.
So we have two hosts. They're obviously fully trained and they are passionate about what they're doing. But we create activities as well, for our younger guests to partake in. We balance that though by also, we've got 5 pools. If you count the hydrotherapy pool in the Ocean Wellness Spa, we've got 5 pools. One of our pools forward on deck 12 is actually the Helios pool, and it's adult only. So I think when you take all these elements of all the space, a ship that's designed with intimate spaces as well. Remember on my comment, you could feel that you're on your own private super yacht. So, smaller spaces where you won't feel that you're with, 800 other guests, for example. All the choices, the connecting suites, the adult only pool, the Nautilus Lounge, the Nautilus Club there. Families are accommodated very, very well. And as I said, we're owned by a family. Families are welcome.
Fantastic. Well, Chris, it's great to get an update on Explora Journeys. I remember that first cruise very well. We had an amazing time, and hopefully I'll get back on one of these days to see the
We'd
changes,
love to.
the new dining and everything else. And you've got some great itineraries, but that's
We
a
do. We'll have
topic
to have
for
another
another.
conversation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now,
Exactly.
where can travel advisors go to get information and also resources on Explora Journeys?
Yeah, so actually visit our website, obviously explorajourneys.com, and then click on the travel advisor link, and you'll go to your travel advisor dedicated center. Make sure you register there, and you're set up for booking and downloading all of the materials, etc. Remember, to all of our travel advisor partners, we are a great value at the moment. Our pricing is set to introduce your clients to the brand. Our pricing increases. We've been increasing some prices as demand is building. We're running pretty high occupancies on many, many of our journeys currently in the Caribbean. This summer, both ships, of course, spring, summer, and autumn will be in the Mediterranean, in the Eastern and Western Mediterranean. But you can also be booking for Explorer 3 now, which will be in Northern Europe in summer 2026. We'll be also offering Iceland, Greenland, the Canadian Maritimes. Explorer 3 will be in the Caribbean in the winter of 26. And also on sale now is the Red Sea and the Arabian Peninsula, with the Explorer 2 sailing there. And there's lots more itineraries to be offering, but it's wave season. We've got our best promotion. We've got our best pricing. My advice is recommend the brand. First time, you're going to look very powerful when you present the brand that your clients may not know so much about. Lean into testimonials, lean into the awards that we've all been given, share the videos, share the story, and I think your clients will become repeat guests of Explorer Journeys and you'll look a hero.
Chris, I want to thank you for taking the time to speak with us about this. Always good to hear from you and hear all the great things that are going on today with Explore Journeys.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the time. Thank you, everybody.
I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.